Let's rock it, let's rock it, let's rock it. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Know yourself, folks. Know what you're all about. Know your weaknesses, know your strengths. Most importantly, know your weaknesses and know your, like, when I say weaknesses, I don't mean general weaknesses. I mean actual weaknesses that you know that you're not going to be able to work around some of these weaknesses. And in many ways, sometimes weaknesses, most of the time, we associate weaknesses as a bad thing, when in fact, in today's Move Swiftly Thought, we're going to address how, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's knowing it and figuring out ways to work around it. If you have a weakness, you just have a damn weakness, all right? So, for me, I'm recording this, it is September 19th, 2024. We're in the heart of football season. As regular consumers, you guys know what this time of year means for me. I am locked in on a lot of college football, a lot of NFL football, because it's playing the game, coaching the game, scouting the game. The amount of involvement I've had in this game is what has built my business, has built my thoughts as an adult, my principles, everything I stand for. A lot of it, most of it, the majority of it, we'll say it like that, the majority of it I learned from the game of football. So seeing that I'm full-fledged, promoting, putting out content regularly, and have a great flow. I'm in a really great state when it comes to my business, a really great flow in terms of just constantly recording, constantly putting out material, constantly making it so I have things that is just going to continue to come out. So much stuff that I myself don't even have a chance to look at everything or know about everything that comes out. Stuff just comes out now, which is ultimately where I wanted to be when I started, because I knew I had a lot of knowledge. I knew I had a great deal of ability and a great deal of talent in regards to just my ability to speak and my ability to communicate certain points and stuff like that, right? So seeing that is a truth when it comes to this time of year on Saturdays, right? On Saturdays, especially Saturdays, because college football is something I personally participate in. NFL football, I never even sniffed playing in the NFL. So I'd prefer a college football Saturday over an NFL Sunday any day of the week. I'd take that any day of the week, right? Now, because of that, before the season or when it's off season, when there aren't any college football games going on, I used to get a ton of work done. Every week, just so you guys know a little bit about my system, every week I record a solo episode of the show, and I write an article that's on the same topic. So I basically have a system in place where I'll pick a topic for the week, record an episode about it, and then also write an article on the same topic. So that way it keeps me understanding what has come week by week, and I'll have ability to filter out and know exactly where it is, and just pretty much just staying organized and things like that, right? So past 3 weekends, I haven't been as diligent or as focused on getting these things done. Usually I like to knock them out and get them done this Saturday, so that way Sunday is just a matter of putting stuff out there, batching certain things and stuff like that. But these past Saturdays there's been college football going on, and knowing myself, I was like, checking out the games, looking at the scores, and I'm not as focused on getting the work I need to get done because, the games are going on, all that kind of stuff. So what happened was this week, I got ahead of the distractions, all right? And this is the point I want to tell you. This is my point earlier. I'm making my point earlier about how sometimes weaknesses isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as you can recognize them, point them out in yourself, and then figure out ways to work around it. So again, for me, college football is that weakness. College football Saturdays is that weakness. I know I'm going to be watching some football every single Saturday when it comes to the fall. So I know that in my heart. And this past week, I actually had an opportunity because I didn't have any guests to do any recordings with. I think it was like Tuesday. I didn't have any late podcast interviews. So what I decided to do was get through. I knew the topic earlier in the week, what I'm going to be talking about. I knew the topic for this week that I'm going to be recording. So instead of waiting for the weekend, I decided to simply record the solo episode this past Tuesday. Yeah, I recorded it this past Tuesday, so it's already done and ready. So all that's really left is to write the article on the same subject, which, again, being that I already recorded a solo episode about it, I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but it's a whole lot more of a smooth process for me to simply write the article because I've already spoken about it. I can go back and listen to it and, put my own creative spin to it when it comes to the article and get specific about what I was talking about. The whole thing, your writing becomes a whole lot easier when you're able to develop as a speaker because you know your points that you want to hit, the paragraphs, how you want to start it. And one of the big things when it comes to writing is making it feel like the person who's actually reading is having a conversation with you. You don't want to make yourself sound like you're not human. You want to make, that's the issue nowadays with ChatGPT and all that. That's why I'll never fully dive into ChatGPT. I'll use it to get ideas and stuff like that, but I'll never use it just to write my articles in general. That's not going to happen because so much of the writing element complements the speaking element and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm explaining all that to you. So when it comes to the way you think about your weaknesses and the way you think about some of the things that you know for a fact that you can't get around. Again, for me, it's college football Saturdays. I know if there's something I need to be doing, if it's something I need done and it's on a college football Saturday, it's going to be hard for me to actually commit to doing a meeting during that time. So seeing that it is that again, I schedule out the things that I need to get done ahead of time so I could work around those weaknesses and still get done what I need to get done. So the question now becomes, and the question I'll close you out with becomes, what exactly is that for you? What exactly is that weakness? What exactly is the thing that hey, this is me, I can't get around it, but I can still get what I need to get done. And if I plan ahead of time, then I'll significally be able to work around this weakness to the point where now it actually becomes a strength. And understand for me, and I'll close you out with this example. Just stay with me on this, because when we're talking college football, when I get to watch the games and really dive in and really be focused on the games, it complements the business that I'm in anyway. Because like I said at the beginning, being in business has been a result of me watching football, playing football, coaching football, scouting football, breaking down, dissecting the game, seeing what the trends are. So for me to be locked in for those 3, 4, sometimes it turns out to be sometimes 8 hours a day from 12 all the way to late night, for me to be locked in and see what the trends are, it actually turns into a compliment to the business. So now it becomes actually a strength, and it actually isn't a weakness, because I'm able to adjust and plan ahead of certain things that would have been a distraction, but they're no longer a distraction, all right? All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.